Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Coffee and Co-op. Got a nice lager here. I'm your host, Nady Poo HD. And let's keep things rolling along here. We're at level 14 with Statman. It's Friday, the 16th. Good times all around. Level 276 Mansk should make things a lot easier for us to do. Excited about that. Excited about that. Have I beaten the mutation this week? No. I don't even remember what the mutation is this week. I don't know. I didn't play any StarCraft this week, actually. Not really. Did this game officially die? No. In case anybody missed the news, yesterday Blizzard announced the end of development for SC2. For all intents and purposes, StarCraft is not getting any more real updates or patches. Assuming that there is some sort of terrible balance thing that gets discovered, they might patch that. But other than that, there will be no more war chests. There will be no more skins. There are never going to be any more co-op commanders released for SC2. No more voice packs. Nothing. So, that was the news yesterday. Blizzard still has a contract in place with ESL and with DreamHack to continue running StarCraft 2 esports events up until the beginning of 2023, because we're still going to have ESL Pro Tour in 2021 and in 2022, and the finals are at Katowice. So theoretically, the last StarCraft tournament, the last big SC2 tournament ever, will most likely be IEM Katowice 2023. So, still got a lot of time. Who knows? Maybe within the next 4 years, Mike Morheim's new company is going to make an RTS. For all we know, right? I mean, 4 years, 3 years is a long time. 2.5 years, still a really long time. So, anything is possible. But yeah, I mean, we all kind of saw the writing on the wall to some degree, but a lot of my friends worked at Blizzard, and I realized when I started, and I'm messaging some people over the summer, and I'm like, hey, do you know when this is coming? And someone's like, oh, I don't work for Blizzard anymore. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh, well, how about this guy? Aren't you the new dude in charge? And I message them, and they're like, I don't work at Blizzard anymore, man. And I'm like, oh. And I'm like, well, if they got rid of a very small number of people, or they left of their own accord, whatever, you know what I mean, then obviously, you know, everything's kind of done. And I've even mentioned that in my videos and stuff. I'm like, hey, I tried reaching out to people, and, you know, nobody has anything. No one can say anything. No one has any, feedback or updates or news or advice or anything. So I'm just like, okay, you know, this is just the way that things are going to be, right? But for 10 years, it's pretty nice, right? 10 years of dedicated development and all that. Hey, all those people who made StarCraft 2, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that they won't try to pursue their passion for RTS outside of that, right? I don't know. No one wants anything until someone proves everybody else wrong. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted, you know, nobody wants more of anything until someone does it right. So I personally believe that at some point a company will come along and attempt to do RTS correctly again, like StarCraft 2 was very well done. And at that point in time, we will, you know, we will have a new home, a new place to go. But I'm not very much of the whole doom and gloom mind, you know. I think everything that we've gotten out of StarCraft has been awesome, and I could never thank folks at Blizzard, the folks who made the game and everything like that, for the impact that it's had on my life. I'm certainly not done with StarCraft. I'm going to keep doing StarCraft shit until I either finally get blacklisted for speaking my mind, or the servers get turned off, right? You know? So all I'm going to say is, if the final tournament is Katowice 2023, I will see you guys there for the sinking of the Titanic. I will be right there with you, playing my Trumpet. I play trumpet, not violin. Sorry, I can't lie. Lying is against my protocol. I would play trumpet, not violin. And we can all go down. We can all go down together. There are only so many things in your life that you will ever have a real ability to control or influence. You know? There are only so many moments where you will have that opportunity to say, hey, I can do something about this. And this is just one of those things that there is nothing we can do about it, right? So you can sit on your ass and cry. You can cry and try. You can feel sorry for yourself. You know, you could go tell other people how sad it is and try to get pity from them. Or, oh, I don't know if I should do the Shakespeare quote. Well, one of my favorite quotes is to take arms against the sea of troubles. And not in the suicidal sense, more in the rah-rah rally sense. But I personally don't think that StarCraft 2 is dead. And I think that it is possible that the scene is largely dead by 2023. But I also know that 2.5 years ago, Fortnite wasn't really a big thing yet, right? There's plenty of things that come and plenty of things that go. And there's absolutely no reason to believe that there is literally no hope for StarCraft 2 over the course of the next 2.5 years. It's just, you know, it's just an incredibly immature take to assume that the world is ending because of this. So I'm not going to do that. And I will more than happily foolishly hope and pray for things to improve, because that's just who I am. I've also never tied my sense of self-worth or ego to viewership stats in StarCraft. I tie my sense of self-worth to whether or not I, you know, treat people that I don't need to treat well or not. I can't do it on my own? Really? I don't know about that. He's kind of got this under control. I'm going to be honest with you, fam. I think he's doing a great job. I think he's doing a great job. Can I keep building these? Oh, it's beautiful. Look at that spread. It's beautiful. But yeah, I mean, hey, for all we know, Mike Morhaim's new company could be trying to build out the RTS of the future. And I don't want to hear anybody's BS about genre dead, blah, 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 blah. You know, sometimes things need to be reinvented to survive. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of evolution or growth or character development, but for me, I see this as a chapter where the real-time strategy genre needs a bit of reinventing. That's how I felt for a long time. A lot of companies still just try to remake the old Age of Empires games with their old awful mechanics and all that stuff. And I think to myself, no way these games could ever be big. And they all inevitably fail. But at some point, somebody will eventually, you know, when you're cornered and you have nowhere to go and you have no hope, that is the moment where you must evolve or die. And I have faith that at some point, some entrepreneur or genius will think of a way to reinvent the genre in a manner that allows it to not be considered an, you know, a terrible investment or a joke or whatever it is that people like to say about RTS to make them feel better about themselves. So, I'm not doom and gloom on it. You know? At some point, you got to stop breastfeeding, right? You know, at some point, you got to find a way to make things work on your own. And whether that's the developers going to a different company that's going to actually believe in them, unlike Blizzard, or whether it's going to be a company that says, fuck it, we can afford to take this risk. We can afford to take the risk because if we succeed, the reward will be incredible. If we find a way to bring RTS back, you know, there are people out there. There is a market for it, right? You're just going to have to take the Apple approach and invent something that people don't know they want. Like the fuck ugly iPad. Apologize for my coarse language. You don't know if they're going to succeed, though? Yeah, neither did the guys who landed on the beaches at Normandy. Yet they still tried for some reason, huh? I don't think any big successful thing that's ever happened was a sure bet. And a new RTS won't be a sure bet. Absolutely not. But I don't know if any of y'all are religious. There's a thing called faith. About trying to believe in things. About trying to see the best in other people or in bad circumstances. So you can walk around telling everybody that it'll never work, and that will get you nothing. Maybe prevent you from emotionally, you know, feeling slighted by losing. Or you might find yourself surprised in a few years after some dreaming. I'm a pretty big dreamer myself.
Home stretch, commanders. One more group of shards to go. These pirates just don't learn, do they? Commanders, it's time to educate them.
I will do it. Hello, best friend.
Just got to build a trillion Zerglings because that is the play. That is how you play StarCraft. You just build lings. That's how you do it, in case anyone didn't know. Only unit you need in the whole game is just Zerglings. I'm being very serious when I say that. Please get offended if you disagree. Not one of them got up. You guys ever have trouble getting your satellites up? Sometimes I just have a hard time getting my satellites up. Go, Stetmann. Go, Stetmann. Go. That officially makes Menks the final co-op commander, right? Something poetic there that I just can't quite put my finger on.
The bad guys are coming. I hope he Gunnergy's at full capacity.
Mutation is ready. Let's hope the enemy's not.
That's the thing about
The Dominion. Even in a crisis, our rule of law holds firm.
Your allies are in combat. Let's lend a hand.
And I would still caution against, you know, the crazy negativity, even about Activision. I hate to break it to you guys, but the companies that you think are the greatest companies in the world that are a million times better than Blizzard still do not usually support an update and release actual significant content for games 10 years after they come out. You know, I hate to be the guy that has to bring everything back to reality, but StarCraft fans are spoiled. You guys have been spoiled by an awesome company that did a lot of shit to try and make sure that this game would survive and implemented a lot of things to keep the tournaments going, even when the executives up top did not want to fund or support these initiatives. I can tell you for a fact, having sat in on some of those meetings, there were some folks that fought very hard for things to be the way that they are. And frankly speaking, StarCraft fans are spoiled because there's plenty of people with way less popular or even sometimes more popular games that don't get half of what we got. They don't get a quarter of what we got. And the fact that they will still at least do balance updates if something breaks or some crazy shit like that, they're going to keep making new maps or at least supporting the latter seasons. Those are things that you do not realize how lucky you are to have.
I bet Amon didn't count on the two of you joining the fray. Way to make him regret it.
I've never heard this voice line before.
Phenomenal finish.
Lit. Lit. Did we hit level? Did we do it? Did we do it? No? Okay. Well, we'll finish up Stetmann with the next episode then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to do some GSL review now. Yeah.